Hey guys, this is Issues with Taddy One Skip. That's me. Guys, so I wanted to tell you that this is the second part of the interview that I do, or the conversation that I do with Mrs. J. I am Mrs. J. So that's Mrs. J. You can go find her on YouTube. These are the videos that she put out. She spent over a year investigating and getting stuff together and researching and finding out all about who Louis Repetto was, when people knew about his bad, horrific, criminal acts. And now we're discussing it. So guys, part 2. And we're starting, I believe, with the fifth series. Anyway, guys, part 2 with Mrs. J. I am Mrs. J. On YouTube, guys. Thanks. Alright, guys, so Mrs. J has put out a series of videos, as you guys know, because we've already seen the first part of it. So it was the first 3 videos. And now we're going to go into the next set of videos with Mrs. J here, who definitely has done the work, has put a lot of work into this. And just to make it, obviously, to make a difference and to let people know when somebody is dangerous. That's what's going on. That's what needs to be. Is that when you know somebody is dangerous, you have to tell people. Because if something happens, the average person would feel responsible. Yes? You're
absolutely right. You know, it's a duty of care.
That's what it is. Bingo. That's exactly what it is. It's
a duty of care, and to be part of a community, it's a duty of care to inform the community about Louis Repetto and his behaviour and how it was covered up. That needs exposing.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%. So we're gonna go into video 4, and we'll play it, and then you'll go into explaining it. How's that?
Yeah. And I'll try not to talk and this time. Also, I do have a couple of notes I will need to bring in at some point, which I've got. So that they're written down so I don't forget, but I will access those after the video.
Okay.
Cool, I'm ready. Cool.
Okay, all right. Let's go to it.
I am Mrs. J. Please like, share, and subscribe. March 14th, 2024. Louis appeared on a live stream with Nora, Liz Ferris, Lara Femme, and Jeffrey Augustine about the Aftermath Foundation billboard being ripped down in Los Angeles.
You have to help me because I'm not remembering.
Glad you came down.
Did I tell you?
I'm glad you came down.
You have to help me because
Pretty cool,
I'm not remembering.
In April 2024 is the first time Louis victimized Shannon. A police report was filed by Shannon. On the night of May 24th, 2024, J-Girl said, Aaron just gave the full name of a woman, Joella McDonald, who had a full-on psychotic breakdown as an ethics officer. He wants Louis Repetto to come on and talk to him about it.
Andy, me, where'd your thing go? I did find out that, let me pull up his channel. Louis Repetto was apparently just arrested. So let me pull up his page here. And yeah, so we are friends of mine are in contact with his immediate family, his girlfriend, and we're figuring out what we can do or can't do to support him. But here is Louis' channel at Leaving Scientology. So give them a follow, and there'll be updates there. There's nothing on the community page or anything like that. But as soon as I get an update about that, I will let you know. I was just checking my group chat. I don't have anything yet to report on that. Why did I pull that up? Okay, let me get... Guys, I pulled up an image of myself on my computer, and it was my FaceTime. And I'm like, why is FaceTime open? I'm not FaceTiming anyone. Anyway, so I will keep you guys posted if anything. The videos on L. Ron Lyer's page of him getting arrested. Okay, let me go there. Let me go there. Thank you for that information. I appreciate it. Let's check it. Ba-bum. Is it his last live here? Let's see if we can see here. I'm just scrubbing. Oh, here we go. So he's protesting around St. Louis work. Here's the cops.
Look at this. These guys are insane.
Now there's running. I don't know what's happening.
They're motioning me to come back.
All right, let's see what's happening. That's Louis talking.
The people are up there on the... Hi. That's good.
What's your name?
Louis Repetto.
Hey,
I'm scared of you.
you don't have to. We're giving you a lawful order to stop.
Okay.
Right here, okay.
I'm stopping.
All right. Thank you. I'm gonna pat you down. Make sure you don't have.
No.
You're gonna get tased.
Oh, okay.
If you do that. Turn around.
Okay.
Turn around.
Do you have any
Turn
weapons?
around.
Why? Okay.
Quit resisting.
Okay.
Now you're under arrest for failure to comply. Handcuffs, please.
Okay.
Wow.
Drop your phone, bro.
No.
Drop your phone.
This is crazy. Just like that, guys.
For disturbing. Oh, you don't see the uniform? So let me tell you what you're under arrest for. After I pat you
You
down.
did not all say you're the police.
That's regulation.
You did not say you were the police. I have a phone in my keys.
Were you blind, sir?
I was not looking at you. I did not know you were there for me. I did not know you were there
What you're under
for me.
arrest for? You're under arrest for disturbing a house of worship,
I did not do
university city orders, and failure to comply.
Disturbing a house of
I'm
worship.
not, Matt. I'm not the guy from the other day.
It doesn't matter. You failed to comply, and
You did not say you were the police.
I don't have to. I'm
Your
in full
camera
uniform.
on? Your
You see?
camera
You
on?
can see,
I
right?
cannot see you the police. You are here. I cannot.
Wow. I guess they turned off his stream right then. That is crazy.
Did you wonder why Aaron and Natalie never showcase this plea for funds? If we stay silent, it'll go away.
Let's see. Tommy Tone Toontown. What? The guest house doesn't have room for 500 people? Exactly. Arrested. We should talk about that. I haven't spoken to Luis, so I don't have all the information. The information I got was a little confusing to me because he was streaming on someone else's channel, and the little bits that I was picking up from here and there seemed like the channel he was streaming on was a channel of a guy who had already like been arrested the day before or the day prior. I'm not totally sure. This is like what I picked up from the little tidbits that I was hearing. And then Luis was streaming on that guy's channel. And then Luis got arrested, but I don't have all the details. So in order to talk about, I should just talk to Luis about it. In fact, maybe I'll bring Luis on my channel later today if we can touch bases and find out what the heck was going on. Because yeah, I know that Luis was arrested on this same charge that they're hitting other protesters with of disturbing a religious service. Luis was not using a megaphone. Luis was out on the street. It's not like L. Ron Hubbard Way where you're literally like, 20 feet from the building. He was out on the street, hundreds of feet from the building. I don't understand how you could possibly be accused of disturbing a religious service by using your normal tone of voice out on public property. I think it's insane. I also don't know what the laws are in Missouri. So we'll have to get to the bottom of that and discuss it.
Not in that I need to say that. So the video.
The video of Aaron with the pink shirt, you said?
Right, and I bleated out the name of the person there. That person was essayed by Luis after Aaron gave the details of how to get hold of Luis. That's one of the people that was sexually assaulted by.
So let me ask
Louis.
you a question. I'm sorry.
She's gone to the police. I just need you to know she's gone to the police, but it took a very long time. I need you to know, and there is an investigation into all of that. But I need you to know that is being dealt with and it is being addressed. And that was something that I had to really make sure that you understood that, because I didn't make it clear in the film, but I wanted to. I didn't want to do it without them saying it's okay. Right. So I can say that she's one of the people that is out and is has put in what to have him arrested. And he knew at that point who Luis Repetto was.
So I want to know, has Luis physically touched any of these women, or is everything virtual? And listen, I'm not saying virtual is not a horrible thing, because it's got to be a horrible thing, because then I would be concerned about any mail or anything I would open in the future. What am I opening? But so has anything been physical, or has everything been virtual?
Yeah. There has been a number of physical assaults as well.
Okay.
Then there's been one
yes,
that I know of.
Right.
That I know of.
Right.
That I know happened last year. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know that word was used, but I wanted to make sure, and I just wanted to make sure 100% that it was physical as well as virtual.
Yeah, I mean, Shannon, she had loads of disgusting stuff sent to her, and she's shut her YouTube channel down and it's just gone like, because she tried to get Aaron to say something. She spent hours trying to get him to say something. The people in Nance Drew, who's got a lot of coverage at the moment, she's one of the people that knew about this and never said anything. So Nance Drew is also, and it's not in this video because I didn't want to talk about it, but Nance Drew is now being spoken about, so I'm going to speak about it. Mm-hmm. Nance Drew knew about it and had never said anything. And Nance Drew went off to freaking the Tony wake, where my Tony passed away, and she went to that wake to go and meet Aaron Smith Levin and Beryl Cheryl, and Nance Drew knew. She knew about it, and she didn't tell her subscribers, and she didn't tell the people of Chicago. No.
And what do you think the reason is? I mean, you say Aaron didn't want to do it because it makes the movement look bad, but honestly, that's not. I ain't buying that. It made Aaron look bad.
That's
made
right, but
Aaron
that's
look
how
bad.
that's how he spun it. That's how he spun it, and the gaslighting, and that's what he's probably said to Nance Drew. You know, this is speculation here. You know, just don't say anything about it. You know, we're quashing it in the chats. I'm a mod in your chat. Don't you worry. I'll quash it in your chat. We'll get rid of it. Move along, move along. These aren't the joys you're looking for. And he was doing that, and so he was then manipulating her. But because Nance Drew wanted the money, and the situation that she ended up in with Boobgate, which is this whole, I won't go into it. Just, anyway, she
Boobgate.
wanted the money. She wanted the money.
Right.
Because she's seeing pound signs videoing Scientologists being an arsehole to a Scientologist. She's seeing pound signs and it's coming in, subscribers, you know, money, brilliant. So I'm going to do that rather than let my audience know, let my subscribers know that there is a predator out there. I know he's a predator because stuff has happened to me as well, but I'm not going to say anything because Aaron's told me not to say anything because it'll spoil the movement and your situation, yada, yada, yada. Spin. Mad.
How did they think that they were going to shut all these women down? How did they think that they were going to quiet all these women down? I just don't understand that.
By being absolutely horrible to them and troll them and use other people to troll those women so that they end up shutting down, which is, you know, what's happened. That's exactly what's happened. You know, that's exactly what's happened. And he kept doing it with me because he knew I knew the stuff. He knew I knew. So he was doing his damnedest to shut me down. I took it to TikTok because I couldn't do any of it on YouTube because he was copyright striking me. So I couldn't do it on YouTube and I couldn't put it out onto YouTube. So I took it to TikTok and he was livid that I was doing that. And he was sending people out to try and get me demoderated from whatever I do, to try and stop me, to try and make me feel insecure, to feel isolated, to feel alone because of the situation. Very clever.
Listen, it's not clever. Let me tell you why. It's only clever. See,
It didn't work, by the way.
Aaron knew that that's the thing. It's only clever if it's a weak person. It's only clever if it's a weak person. Because if you don't know who you're fucking with, you better bolt your fucking house down. Because you just don't know. Now, he knew the kryptonite that was Nora.
Yeah.
So he kept hitting that. Now, Nora, and I don't care for Nora, but I have to give her credit because, you know what? She was able to recover from that, and she came back fighting. Now, instead of taking it down, and you know, because I know she was destroyed, I saw the videos. So, for her to come back and fight back, I have nothing but respect for that. My problem with Nora is that there's a lot of peripheral shit she's throwing around. It's not directed at us. It's directed at Aaron or whomever. Don't direct it at everybody else, especially if they're asking critical questions. It doesn't mean that we're critical of you. It just means that we're not understanding something. And that behavior is just as bullying, unfortunately, as Aaron's behavior. And that's the problem that I have with her. You got a really good cause here, but you're not leading the charge very well. You want people to be on side with you. When they're in disagreement with you, you don't curse them out or yell and scream. Explain to them, listen.
That's right.
You know, that's what you do to get people on side. And you might not even get them to change their mind, but they'll respect you a lot more than you yelling and screaming at them and having them, you know. So, but I do give her credit for fighting because she has got her adrenaline is going. He's not fighting from that anymore. In this case, in this moment, she's stronger than him because he's tired. He's tired and she's just going. And you know, I got to tell you, it's nice to see. It's good to see because Aaron needed this because, you know, when I started with my channel and I even got my 1,000 subscribers, I had a lot of people love bombing me, and I said to myself, "Oh, this isn't going to work for me," because if I believe this is going to be very dangerous to me.
He has absolutely no awareness of it.
He's gone through no therapy. He doesn't think anything's wrong with him.
No.
He doesn't, and that's the problem with social media and having people blow smoke up your ass.
Blowing smoke up your ass. His ego is quite...
Yeah. Yep.
Big.
All right, so let's go to 5. We're going to go to 5, right?
5.
All right, so here we go.
Cool.
Growing up in Scientology 12 days ago, further clarification, Miriam Francis is the one I warned almost 2 years ago about Louis Repetto having allegedly sexually assaulted a Sea Org member many years earlier. I gave Miriam Francis the alleged victim's phone number so she could hear the story for herself. Miriam dismissed the concerns, attacked me, and continued collaborating with and platforming Louis Repetto anyway. It was one person who was claiming to speak for an unspecified number of other people who had complaints about Louis's inappropriate and possibly criminal behavior with fellow people in the protest community. She would not give me any of the identities of the people who were making such claims. I was not given any specifics about the claims. I was not given any opportunity to speak with any of these individuals personally. I was being told that the individuals who had potential criminal complaints were refusing to go to the police because they didn't want their identities known. Yet I was being asked to do a video on my channel, reading a statement on behalf of all of Louis's anonymous victims, warning my entire audience about Louis Repetto. I said no. Shannon had her own channel and her own voice. She could have done her own video, and others could have chosen to signal boost if they felt it was appropriate. Shannon was assured that she had my and others' support if she wanted to go public with whatever information she had. Instead of just doing that, Shannon went on with Hunt, accusing any SPTV channel that did not want to be her spokesperson as silencing victims. This was dishonest and destructive conduct. We are not here to be judge, jury, and executioner. Anyone who does not prioritize following the correct steps to have someone held accountable in the proper way is someone whose motives I question.
Would it be possible to cover the situation surrounding Louis Repetto? I am looking for the best place to find out what happened. Yeah, not really on my channel. No. Louis Repetto is a former Sea Org member who was also a part of the protest community and was behaving inappropriately with other protesters. I have to be honest that I was very dissatisfied with the amount of information that was being shared with me on this topic. I tried to find out what the accusations were, exactly who was making the accusations, what were the accusations, who had gone to the police, who had not gone to the police. I was very disappointed that people expected me to go public with unconfirmed, unverified accusations from people I did not even know who they were about things they weren't even willing to go to the police for. And I said, look, I'm not here to be used as a propaganda tool. I'm not here to be elected to be someone's mouthpiece. I'm not here. And by the way, the people who were expecting me to do this had their own platforms. They could have done their own videos. They could have taken their own responsibility to share the information they had. But they thought that they could just give a bunch of unconfirmed information from anonymous people to me. And by the way, the people who were expecting me to do this had their own platforms and expect me to go public with it. What does my audience have anything to do with Louis Repetto's inappropriate behavior with other protesters? You guys might have noticed I've never done any videos with Louis Repetto. You might have noticed that. When Louis Repetto first appeared on the scene, I was contacted anonymously by another former Scientologist who told me a very troubling story about an experience that she had with Louis Repetto. Even though I do not know the identity of the woman that I spoke with on the phone, I 100% believe the information that she shared with me. When Lewis first appeared on the scene and started doing collaborations with the information that I had, and I expected that the people I was sharing this information with would go, oh, thank you for letting us know. Instead, I was brutally attacked for daring to spread unconfirmed rumors like that about one of our own members. And I said, I ain't the one doing videos with him. You are. You're the one who's going to look ridiculous.
I am Mrs. J. Please like, share, and subscribe.
So start.
Sorry about the sound, by the way. I'm a bit shit on the sound thing.
No. We understood what he was saying. So he kind of backpedaled a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. He went all the way back. So go ahead and it's your video. Tell us.
Well, this was the thing. It raises the question: is that true? Did he actually message Miriam Francis? Did he send her a message 2 years ago, and she didn't do anything about it and didn't say anything? Is that true? We will never know, because he lies so much. We'll never know the answer to that.
So Miriam hasn't had any response to that, or Miriam has said that's not true?
No, nothing.
She said absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Miriam, the same person that rode Mike Rinder and needed a response right away for what happened to her?
Yes.
Does it not matter to her what happens to other people?
Did he actually message her, or did he not? These are the
questions. She knows about it now, though. But she knows about it now.
She knows about it now. Yeah.
So, how old those videos are up for a minute. And if somebody said something about me that I knew something about somebody who was dangerous and I didn't know, I'd be screaming from the rooftops, wait a minute, I didn't know that. Stop it, Milo, stop it. If somebody accused me of knowing something, Miriam, I would think, would be, how would you respond?
Well, that's a really tricky one, because I've not responded at all to anything that I've had from him. So previously, where he's come at me on various channels through various people, I've not responded until these last few weeks, where I finally, because of all the being able to sort it all out, not being on TikTok.
Is he accusing you of keeping a predator at bay?
No. Okay. No, I suppose I'm being diplomatic here. I don't know, because it's really difficult, because all I could do was state what was there. So I can't answer for Miriam whether she has done it is true or not, and how she would respond to that. I really don't know.
That's fair. You're right. That's fair. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, and the same. Yeah, so that's why all I've had to do is just put the facts out of what is there. What is there.
Right.
Right. Again, it goes back to, I don't really want to speculate. Right. I'm happy to talk about the question, like whether or not that she was informed 2 years ago or not, and she's the only person that he told. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But the thing is, he's told so many different stories to so many different people. When you speak to people like Pearl Snappy or to Shannon, and you ask them, they've got a different story, but it's the same, but it's slightly different. It's, what it was an email, or it was a phone call, or, and that sort of thing. So he plays it like that. So it's just so difficult to know where the truth lies.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that's the jury's out, if that makes sense on that, really. I think that's probably the best way of describing it.
Right.
The jury's out, because you can flip-flop with it,
Right.
can't you? You can
Well, that's what he
flip-flop.
tried to do in that video. I mean, in the video you showed, that's exactly,
Right.
you know, what he tried
Right.
to do was he tried to say, listen, I told so many people so that they could say something about it, but I didn't say enough because I didn't really have the proof, but I totally believed that person, even though I really don't know who that person is. I believed them anyway. There's just,
Yeah.
it's just, yeah, it's not good. You said that you had some notes that you wanted to talk about. Did you want to wait till we're done with all the videos?
I've actually incorporated them into the conversation that we've had.
Cool.
Yeah,
cool.
I've been pleased with myself on that.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I can get in there. Now slide that one in. There we go.
There you go.
I've managed
Well
to
done.
Yeah,
Well done.
trying to do it quickly. But that's it. That's part 5, you know, and there's a few more to go, and it just shows you the in-depth detail he will go to spin a yarn.
Yes.
And he hopes that people forget that what happened a year ago. He hopes that what happened 2 years ago. You know, whatever anyone says, it's not funny dressing up as a rapist of a rape trial that you've been to, that you had this situation happen to. Nothing about that is normal.
Right.
Nothing about. Now, if he come out as Jason, like from bloody Friday the 13th thing, you'd be like, yeah, you know, you get.
Yeah. But no, that was ridiculous. That was how he thought that looked funny, how he thought that would be a joke. After he went to that trial and tried to talk about how serious all of it was, and then made a mockery, in my opinion, of a few things. It was something that happened in the courtroom that we heard. See, the thing with Aaron, you don't listen to what he says. You listen to what he doesn't say. That's how you read Aaron.
So we're now on part 6. Now we look at how Louis Repetto knew Aaron, where they knew each other, how long they've known each other, and their relationship. Now, what Aaron says is very different to what Louis Repetto says, so I've put both in for you to see. So this is part 6, and we're going to go from there. Please look at the rest of the other ones that I've already done. Please like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for even just like being on my channel and shit. I really appreciate it. Shannon had a 1 hour and 11-minute conversation with Aaron Smith Levin. Aaron revealed how long he had known about Louis Repetto. He also revealed he wasn't going to tell his audience there was a predator in the SPTV community. I wonder why.
Hutchison, she wrote this whole big article about Aaron and saying how she has her sources as to what he was actually doing in the C organization. Anyways, she's just, she seems a little bit confused about how Scientology auditor training does work in there. And I'd like to ask her any questions about it. Thank you very much. What kind of training things were happening. So I was in the Sea Org from 1999 to 2013, and Aaron Smith Levin was in the Sea Org from 2003-ish to 2008-9. I knew him the whole time, but I worked with him about 4 of those years, and I worked with him. So he was the technical secretary, it's called, over Division 4, which is... I was here yesterday with the girls.
Yeah, let's do this. So, like, when we were in the Sea Org, I was the tech sec and you were the BC practical supervisor, right?
Yep.
So, like, yeah, Louis and I were in the Sea Org. The entire time I was in the Sea Org, Louis and I were in the Sea Org together.
All of it is like the division which services or delivers the fake services for money and stuff like that. But in that division, they don't receive the money. They're just delivering the service. They're doing the actual auditing on the people, or they're doing training of actual auditors, and many other things actually in Div 4.
Aaron and Jenna have never once warned SPTV fans about Louis. Not even on someone else's channel, like he will do sometimes when he wants to keep drama or controversy off his channel.
When I did this, that hadn't been done yet. He hadn't spoken about Louis Repetto at all. But we now know that he spoke about Louis Repetto back in October. Please refer to part 1. And please, now there is a trigger warning because now we're going to be talking about his Louis Repetto's actions over the last couple of years in the SPTV community.
Fucking mess. And none of us knew anything about each other. We all thought we were the only one. This person was incredibly gross with his shit. And he was also extremely manipulative and cruel. And he is a snake. And he is also has a history of...
I used to like to talk to people. Yeah, you interview people and then you decide where they're at on a run time scale. Hell yeah. Chart of human emotion. And then you believe you can predict how they're going to act because it's a chart and it's about human behavior.
And you would get them to act in a certain way. Do you remember that part?
Well, you could bring them up or down the chart.
Serial rape. And I just found this out today. So that his name is Louis Repetto. And you guys are the first people that know this, but believe me, everyone else is going to find out. So we got together today, wrote a letter about our feelings about what needs to change to make it safer in this environment, and what needs to be done with him, and what people should know to keep themselves safe. And I promise you that there is nothing that anyone did to in any way encourage that shit. He is a sick fucker, and he should be in prison for everything he's done for the rest of his life. And FYI, there's a child living in that household. So I have made a police report, and I have reported, I've done everything I can to protect that kid. And I will continue to do so to make sure that the authorities know what's going on. I have no evidence at all that he's done anything to the kid, but I have a ton of evidence that he has sexually assaulted multiple people, and he has sent the most vile things unsolicited to at least 8 of us. There are 8 of us that we know of for sure. And we have evidence. We have all the evidence, including my email to him saying, this is completely inappropriate. Don't fucking ever write me again. And you could pull this whole movement down on all our heads with your responsibility. Like, for what? And at that time, I had no idea that I was not the only person. And everyone has known. So apparently it's been a hidden secret that he is this way and behaved this way in the C organization. And I guess we were the last to know, haha. So he has apparently, we did not know that there was anyone else. The way, I can't even tell you, if I told you how we found each other, it was like a series of absolute weird situations. Someone asked me because of the way he looked on remember the series I did with him? And I owe you guys an apology for putting this asshole on the internet. And I haven't decided. I think I may have to go on a live and apologize to my viewers for doing that. I had no idea who he was and what he was, but other people did. So someone was just here and then left. So I'm sure the word's getting out. Apparently, this is all that's been being talked about for the last 4 or 5 days behind the scenes, and everyone knew but the 8 of us. So, that's what's going on. That's the person responsible. He has taken down most of his shit off the internet, and he is, in the words of one of the second-gen men today, he is finished. He's dead to us. So I can only hope and pray that that's true, and that the police do what they should have done a long time ago. So that's the situation. There's the story. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer, except going to the police and making sure the police do what they should, everything they can with the evidence I have, and telling my own story from my own perspective. And I haven't heard, there are people that we did not talk to that we know were victimized that I have not even seen. I don't know who they are myself. So you're going to be seeing that a lot on the internet. There's going to be a lot of erasing Lou Repetto, the serial rapist.
The letter email read by Mandy and Shannon both asked Aaron to read this to his subscribers. Aaron refused to do this. Why would Aaron not tell his community?
All right, so last night or yesterday, Shannon drafted me up something and I edited it so that we could have a concise statement that covers everybody that's been affected. But we are not going to tell anybody's specific story unless they ask us to or until they come out with it. This is just me and Shannon for right now. Yeah. All right, so we are a group of people who were never in Scientology, but who joined the fight against Scientology after being moved by these stories of the people who escaped. We are streamers, mods, protesters within this community, and also a fair number of us also have our own trauma that we dealt with that led us to this movement and helping people. But while interacting with Louis Repetto in the context of what we do for this movement, all of us began receiving unsolicited sexual content from him. This includes inappropriate language, photos, and videos. None of us have known him for very long, but some of us didn't know him at all when he began sending us these things. The numbers are probably growing, but as of yesterday, out of 8 known cases, he stopped when asked once. For the rest of them, he continued barraging them with sexual comments, photos, and videos on various platforms. And they continually asked him to stop, and he wouldn't. In every case, we thought we were the only ones. That's usually how this ends up going, I think. It's typical for you to feel like you're alone in it. So we all kept his secret for months, not knowing others experienced these types of interactions. Throughout the last couple of months, connections were finally made with one another, and we located each other. I got to talk to Shannon about this and a couple other people. And we realized that we shared the same experiences. He would feed us the same lines. We believe that because Repetto is an ex-Scientologist, that no one would believe or support us. And we do have support, and we thank those people. We were taken in by how sweetly Louis Repetto presented himself, and we gave automatic, sorry, I'm nervous, so I'm going to be ticking a little bit. So we gave him automatic respect and deference to him because he escaped this vicious cult. We have been able to come forward due to the support we have for one another, and we do not stand for predators at all. And we have some support from a very compassionate group of ex-Scientologists. We make this statement to warn others of his repeated insidious behavior, and we call to any other victims of internet sexual abuse in the anti-Scientology community to join. And I'm going to provide you with an email that you could reach out specifically to the survivors. And we absolutely encourage everybody to make a police report, because even if the police don't do anything, we have a paper trail, and that matters. And if anybody needs any help with writing it or anything, contact me or Shannon, and we will give you that support. Again, we appreciate the support we've been given and coming forward, and we hope that everyone will take the opportunity to ask themselves, What would they do if this happened to their loved one? The more we care about each other by holding ourselves and others accountable, the more powerful our stand will be against Scientology. And individual statements will be added as like things and people come forward and people feel comfortable to come forward. The email is power2survivors1, not ONE, but one, like the number one, at gmail.com. We have someone that's collecting all the evidence that we have and all the receipts we have in one spot so that we can use it for ourselves. I guess I can start by just saying what I got and how I found you, Shannon. So
first text message Shannon received immediately following the June 24th live with Mandy was from Nance Drew, who said, "You were right. You should have disclosed the information about Lou Repetto sooner, and then I may not have been victimized by him." This was a reference to Shannon saying during the live she regretted waiting all to talk about what happened with LR. However, she did not know that she was not the only one. Shannon also has screenshots of Nance Drew going into DOA's chat and accusing Shannon of not telling people about Louis for months, and that's why she was victimized. Peter Foster says, "I am in shock. Are we talking about the Louis Repetto who was an auditor?" Rugelin says, "Shannon, that is someone preying on women. Then why wasn't the community notified?" Peter Foster says, "Okay, I don't want to speculate, but if he is doing this now, what was he like in the cult?"
I am Mrs. J. Please like, share, and subscribe.
So that was very explosive. Yeah. Very explosive. Why didn't Aaron do what they did?
You asked, well, this is the question, isn't it? You know, these women asked Aaron to read that statement out on his live because he had a duty of care to his community. He refused to do that and kept quiet, quashed Lou Repetto in the chat all over the place. And
so you got stuck. Wait, repeat what you said because you got a little glitch there. So you were saying he squashed Louis in the chat. So repeat that because that's what happened.
Yeah, he quashed Louis in the chat, and instead of reading that out, he didn't even direct people to go to Shannon, nothing. So if anyone had I don't know if anyone has contacted Aaron about their situation with Louis Repetto, he just ignored it. He just ignored.
Not only did Aaron make a big deal about Mike not talking about, which we don't know. Mike said he did, and I gotta believe Mike did because he said it publicly. And Child USA had to have heard about that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's what I would think. But it also is very reminiscent to the Danny Masterson and Ashton Kutcher fiasco that Aaron called Ashton out on. When Ashton went into the house and saw the crime scene of the woman who unfortunately was, and I think I remember Aaron saying because of that, there was another MURDER. So because Aaron didn't mention to people in his chat and in his comments and his community, how many people were ABUSED'd by Lewis?
I know 100% know of 23 women. Because I've got
from Lewis about Lewis, 23 women.
Yeah, God. But we think it's actually if you class online abuse, we're looking at may have been over 100 people, but we can't.
That's federal too. Sure. That's a federal charge here when you do that shit online and it crosses state lines, it becomes a
Right. Well,
federal
that's
charge.
the same, and this is international. This isn't just.
Ooh.
This isn't just
You gotta love
America.
you gotta love when people get their justice due. So where does he
It's
stand now?
international.
Is he a free man right now, Louis? Is he like
I
down
don't
in
know
his
where he
days?
is. I don't know what he is saying or doing at the moment. The word is on the ground. I've got people on the ground, just waiting for stuff coming through from the investigation. Obviously, it's all still under investigation, and the only reason I've been able to do this because this stuff is out there already.
Right.
That's why I've been able to do what I've done. The amount of women I had when I put the first video out on TikTok, because I said I wasn't been able to do it on YouTube. I was having people contacting me on TikTok saying that it had happened to them, on Snapchat and on Instagram that they'd had stuff from him. As I said, I think we're looking at that's 23 people that have come forward. Yeah. 23 people, and some of these women have been touched by him. This isn't just online stuff. He's met people in Chicago. Prolific, right up there, and is not talking about it. Part of this being a crime, if you knew about this.
That's the thing. I was thinking that too. I was thinking when you introduce somebody who you know is dangerous to somebody,
which he did.
Right. We saw that actually on the video, didn't we? Right?
Yeah.
So, can't you be sued for negligence? Isn't there something that you could be held accountable for?
I don't know the law on that. I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, no, I'm asking just out loud. This is going to, we'll find out because we'll get people in the comments that will hopefully tell us if that is the truth or not. Wow. What a piece of shit. And where does Aaron stand now on this?
Well, he said that he told Miriam a couple of years ago. So there you go, job done.
Oh,
but he didn't tell any. So that's how he's wiping it he's pushing it over there. Look over there.
He's not going to be able to do that when these videos come out because they're going to get views and people are going to start talking about these videos. Yeah. And it's going to start.
I've had comments from people like Marilyn saying, "Oh, for goodness sake, just get over it, for God's sake."
Oh, well, she should get abused and see how that feels. Let her get over it. That's a horrible thing to say. Who is somebody to say what somebody's trauma is and to take something so lightly as if the guy killed a bug? I mean, come on. People in the chat were saying things like, because the stuff was being quashed, but what I was seeing was things like, this is in Aaron's chat, things like, "Oh, for goodness sake, it was 2 years ago. Get over it." Yeah, well, because they're all they've got is a photo. They've been told it's just a photo. They think it's just a picture of his dick or something. Right. No, it's not. It's absolutely disgusting, vile video of him. Actually him. It's not even stuff that he just nicked off the internet. It's him. Right. But it's not. Listen, if he assayed one woman or one person physically, that's enough. That's enough. Yeah. It doesn't. It's not that it's a year ago. It's not that that has got to change somebody forever. Right. So I don't buy. The need for support.
and needs the support. That, you know, those people have gone through huge trauma from this and have been scared to say anything as well. People have been scared to speak out against this situation because of Aaron and because of Louis Repetto and who they are, because of the ex-Scientology community, and under the bubble of being famous as famous celebrity in inverted commas in the ex-Scientology community. And that's all that this is about. They've used their ego and they've used their power against women.
Yeah.
They both have. They've both done that. Sorry, I'm saying it. I'm going to call it what it is. I'm saying it what it is.
I don't want you to be sorry. I don't want you to be sorry for that.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the way you feel and that's what's been, I just don't understand how people could follow Aaron and watch him be so hypocritical. And if there's fault in what Ashton Kutcher did, then there's fault in what Aaron has done.
Right.
If there's fault in what Danny Masterson did, there's fault in what Aaron has co-signed. You know what I'm saying? So you can't have it both ways. There's a line there. There's not even a gray area. It's not like, especially when he says, "Listen, I 100% believed this person." Then that's all you have to say. That's all you have to say is, listen, there's some allegations. I believe these allegations. I want to denounce myself. He denounced himself from plenty of people we saw just recently, right? But not Louis Repetto. He didn't mention that name, right?
Nope.
So, hey, guys, that was part 2. That was part 2 with I Am Mrs. J. That was Mrs. J, guys, from YouTube. Check her channel out. She's got all the videos. She's done all the hard work. I really enjoy talking to her. We're going to do it one more time. Guys, please like, subscribe, and share to my channel as well as to Mrs. J's channel. That'd be great. You can go. We're not cults. If you don't like us, we'll let you leave, I promise. Guys, don't forget, be better today than we were yesterday. Not half as good as we'll be tomorrow. Always, always be kind. And keep the conversation going, guys. Thanks. He's so disgusting. He really... He's so fucking gross. I'm sorry. These pictures of him actually look good. These pictures that you have here, I mean, he looks pretty good there. But in real life, he's not a good-looking man at all. 3 wives.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Let's
do it.
Let's go. Number 6.
Number 6, right.